Then we have this is for GS3, computer science for GS3, and we're looking at the topic computer virus. Now, what is a computer virus? We would have heard about virus, as we hear all about, just like the recent one that we have now, the coronavirus. So the computer also itself has a virus, but not like that affect or infect human beings, because a computer is not a human being, the computer is a machine. So also the computer can be infected with a virus. Then when we talk about computer virus in this context, what do we mean? We are referring to it as a computer virus is a malicious software program or malware that can infect a computer and modify a computer by modifying or deleting data files, boot sector of a hard disk drive, or cause software program to work in an unexpected manner. Now, a computer virus is said here to be a software program. And when we say software, what do we refer to as software? Software are a written set of instructions that are written to the computer. By communicating with the computer, we use software because there are a set of instructions in which we use to instruct the computer on what we want it to do and how we want it to do it. And there are some type of software programs that are viruses that are written also to perform some specific tasks. Like sometimes, like it is written here that this virus, it can infect a computer. And when it infects a computer, what does it do? It modifies or deletes data files. Sometimes the boot software of a hard drive can cause software program, and it can cause software program to work in an unexpected manner or malfunction. Then a computer virus resides on a host computer and can be replicated and can replicate itself when executed. What we mean by a host computer is that most computer virus, all computer virus usually start from a particular computer, and once it starts on that computer is referred to as a host computer, and from there it can be transferred through other medium. We are going to look at the medium through which virus can be transferred also. And when the virus is executed, it starts to replicate itself. And what do we mean by replicating itself? It means it starts to multiply itself. Maybe it is only a program, a single virus that enters a computer now. And that single program can replicate itself to become 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, to the extent that the whole computer will be full of the virus itself. And by doing so, the virus can steal user data, some information that are on your computer. They can be stolen using a virus, or it can delete some files by itself. Maybe you have saved some file on your computer, and when you get there to check the file or to work on it, you notice it's not there again, it has been deleted. A virus can do that, and a virus can also modify files. It can make changes to the files that you have already worked on and saved. It can modify files and documents, and it can give a kind of record keystrokes and web section of a user. What do we mean by record keystrokes? This is a kind of situation where as you are using your computer, the virus will be taking log of your activities. It will be keeping log. It's like keeping a note of the activities that you are doing on the computer, so that it can save it and send it to the person that is attacking you with a virus. So if the virus is being intended to keep strokes of web section, that means as you are going to your web application, you are logging in into some site, the virus will be keeping records of those information you are using and be sending it to the person that is attacking the system with that virus. And by so doing, you will be getting information from your system when the person is not even using your system. And that is why it will be easy for some people to be able to hack your computers and get your information, or hack accounts, maybe like Facebook account, Twitter account. It's because a virus has been sent to your computer to copy those information, like your password, your credentials. So by copying those information, they can now make use of it to access your data on the net and hack your passwords and so on and so forth. Now, let's look at the types of virus we have. The first one, we have the boot sector virus. This boot sector virus is a virus that infects the master boot record, and it is challenging and complex tasks to remove. It's very complex to remove from the system. And what do we mean by the boot sector? Boot sector is a particular space in a computer where the operating system that is being used in booting the system up is saved. And if a virus has affected this boot sector, it's going to stop the system from booting up to desktop. Then the second one we have is the direction action virus. And what does this direction action virus do? It is also called a non-resident virus. And when it gets installed on your system, this type of virus goes ahead and hide itself somewhere where you won't be able to see it, and it will be acting underground and it will be making your computer to behave or act unexpectedly. And it's normally installed inside the computer memory. It will hide itself somewhere inside the computer memory, and when it hides itself, it now stays there and attach itself to some specific files that it has been intended to attach itself to. Then the next one we have the resident virus. And the resident virus is the kind of virus that is very difficult to identify. Sometimes this resident virus may pose as a file or as an application on your computer, but you won't know. You will think it's an application, it's a file. And before you know, it starts replicating itself, creating more folder on its own, and it starts infecting the virus. Then we have multi-partit virus, and this is the type of virus that is difficult to identify with an antivirus. This kind of virus multiplies itself also, and it affects executable files like installation files. This virus affects it. Then the next one we have the polymorphic virus. And what does this do? This kind of virus alters its signature pattern as it goes. What we mean by signature pattern is that in a particular form it may look like this. When it replicates itself, it changes some things about it that will not make you to know that it's still the same virus. You think it's another virus. Then we have the override virus. And what does the override virus do? This override virus goes into your files and overwrites your files. And what do we mean by overwrite? It changes what you have written in the file to anything that suits it, and it alters the information on that file. And when information on files or programs are being altered, those files or programs won't work as they should work. They won't perform the specific thing you want them to perform, the specific operation you want them to perform. Then we have the space filler virus. And what does the space filler virus do? This is a kind of virus that fills empty space. Any empty space on your computer, it starts to fill them up, and before you know, you start getting a kind of notification that there is no more space on your system again, that the space has been filled up. And that is because a space filler virus has been introduced to the computer, and it keeps occupying empty spaces just to keep them filled up. And after some time, you just be hearing memory low. There's no more space on your computer. That's what the space filler virus does. And the next one we call is the file infector virus. This file infector virus is virus that are being attached to files that are sent to you. For example, an electronic mail is being sent to you. They will attach a virus to that mail, maybe a picture, a video you are downloading on the internet, or a picture you are downloading on the internet, or a file or document you are copying from one system to another system. This file infector virus will attach itself to those files, so that when you copy anything from a system, immediately you put it in another system, then it comes and starts replicating itself in the other system. So these are the types of viruses we have. Now, we are looking at the damages that are being caused by a computer virus. The first one, a computer virus can damage data or software on the computer. Data, files, software that you have on the computer, the computer virus can damage them. It damages them either by just changing what you have on them, or when you want to open it, it will not open. It will tell you that this file has been corrupted. That means the file has been damaged. Then it can delete some or all the files on the computer. At the same time, it can delete files on its own. Then the third one, it can destroy all the data by formatting the hard drive. There are some viruses that can just format the hard drive by itself. When you didn't ask it to format, you just you turn on your computer and everything is blank. And you'll be wondering, how did this happen? That's a virus is capable of doing that also. Then it may display false messages very few times. This is very conversant with virus sometimes. It will give you false messages and ask you to click OK or cancel. But most time we just click OK without reading the message, and by so doing we are executing that virus, and before you know it starts working and the computer will start malfunctioning. Then causes of computer virus. How is computer virus infecting our system? What are the causes? How do we get across with computer viruses. Number one, infected flash drives or disk. If you should use a flash drive to copy a file from a computer that is being infected with a virus before, that means that flash drive will be infected also, and any other system you use that flash drive on or disk will be infected with that virus. So that means, or you go and take a flash drive that has already been infected and you put it in your own computer, that means your computer will also be infected with the virus. So it is very important you check the type of flash drive or disk that you use on your computer to be able to be so that you'll be sure that it has not been infected by a computer. Then another one is email attachment. And what do we mean by email? Email means electronic mail. When an electronic mail is being sent to you, there are some electronic mail that have attachments like documents and files. Most of those attachments consist of virus. If you are not sure of the person sending the mail to you, maybe you just open your email and you see some mail being sent to you. You don't just open any mail unless you are expecting a mail and you know the source of the mail. That's where you can open a mail. But if you are the type that just see any information, you open everything, you may be infected. Your computer may be infected with the virus, because most of those attachments that have been sent with email are sent with viruses just to be able to access your computer file. Then infected websites. There are some websites on the internet that are infected, that have viruses. Once you go to those websites, the virus automatically downloads to your computer system and infect the system. Then on networks, virus can be contracted on networks. Maybe computer networks. You get to somewhere, you see a Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, you connect to it. Most of those public networks normally have viruses. Then we have pirated software. What do we mean by pirated software? Softwares that are being pirated, that are being copied. Instead of buying the good software that you use, you go and buy a pirated one to use on your computer. This can also cause virus to the computer. Then what are the common symptoms of virus attack? The common symptoms of virus attack is that the first thing is that you will notice that your computer begins to run slow. Maybe you had to do some tasks that you would have done within 2 minutes, then all of a sudden you just notice that the computer is getting slower and slower. It's not fast as it should be, or as it has been working before. Then probably the computer has been infected by a virus. Then the second one, program or files get corrupted. Once you notice that some of your programs and files are being corrupted, you want to open a program, it doesn't open, it's giving you an error message. Or you want to open a file, it's telling you that the file is being corrupt. That means the computer has been infected with a virus. Then the third one, unknown file directories are created. You just notice that on your desktop, you see a lot of folders that you didn't create by yourself. Just see that folders will start creating themselves, directory will start creating themselves. So when something like that is happening, when you start seeing files and folders that you did not create, that means a virus is on the computer creating those directories and files. Then unusual messages and graphics appears on the computer screen. What do we refer to this unusual message? You may be working on your computer, a message will just pop up by itself, giving you an unusual thing, asking you to cancel or click OK. Most of these unusual messages they happen like that due to computer viruses. Sometimes it brings error messages. So now let's look at the protection from computer virus. How can we protect ourselves or our computer from being infected with a computer virus? A computer virus can be protected from virus by following these precautions. And what are those precautions? The first one, the latest and updated version of antivirus should be installed on the computer. And the second one, the antivirus software must be updated regularly. After installing the latest and updated version of antivirus on your system, you have to update it regularly, because the main reason why you are updating it is so that you can be up to date of the recent viruses that are created. Then at the same time, USB drives should be scanned for viruses and should not be used on infected computers. After you have scanned a drive for virus using a software and you have noticed that there is no virus on that USB drive, that is flash drive, You should not use that flash drive on a computer that you already know that it has been infected with a virus, because it's going to affect it. Then junk or unknown emails should not be opened and be deleted straight away. If someone has sent an email to you and you don't know the source of the email, it's better you delete it. Don't even try to open it and read. Then unauthorized or pirated software should not be installed on the computer. You are not to install unauthorized software or pirated software, because most unauthorized software and pirated software are being infected with viruses, which will infect your computer also. And the sixth one, computer data and files should be backed up. You make sure that all the data and files on your computer, you have a backup kept somewhere. Maybe you have a external hard disk, or you have a DVD disk where you can back up your data, so that when a virus infects your computer system and deletes your file, you still have a backup that you can use to restore them. Then the seventh one, freeware and shareware software from the internet normally contain virus. What do we refer to as freeware and shareware software? There are some software that you can download on the internet free without making any payment. But most of the time, most of this freeware and shareware software normally contains virus. So if you have a good antivirus system on your computer and an updated antivirus on your computer, when you download a freeware or shareware software, it will be scanned automatically to check if it has a virus. Then example of type of antivirus. What is an antivirus? An antivirus is a computer program also that detects, that scans and detects virus. And the type of antivirus we have is, we have the Avast. We have the Avast antivirus. We have the Norton antivirus, and so on and so forth. So I want us to look at some other types of antivirus that are available. So I'm giving us that as our assignment. One, do a kind of research and give me an example of at least five types of antivirus. Just search the internet. I have given us two here, Avast and Norton. We still have a lot of them like that. Just give me 5 types of antivirus that we can install on our computer. Thank you very much.